everyone out there in the land of YouTube. I'm Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the one and only Psychic News Network, and today is Friday, December 22nd. Happy day after solstice. I've been in a time warp all week. I don't know why. It just feels like it's a different... I kept thinking it was the 23rd. No, it's the 22nd. Let me know how you're doing, what's going on. There's a lot going on in the news. I don't think there's a time when there isn't a lot going on in the news. I think I'm actually going to start with, I just had a question on my mind that I think I'm going to start with, because I was just watching MSNBC a little bit, and they had on somebody named Dennis Prager. So... Yeah, so Dennis Prager is apparently a right-wing conservative extremist who is infiltrating public schools in America with their rendition of history. And their rendition of history is, you know, such that slavery wasn't that bad and the white people are really all good, and you know that. So I just want to read. And I'm actually going to just jump right in and yeah, they were given airtime to Prager. The reason they were given airtime to Dennis Prager was because they were kind of exposing what he's doing. You're listening to the Christmas music link I sent you today. I did? Wait, did I send you a Christmas music link? I was going to start tonight with a song, but then I realized that it has to be public domain. And so I got a little stumped. So I want to just look at Dennis Prager, because as I was watching him, all I keep thinking is how all these extremists, all these right-wing extremists that try to shove their version of Christianity down everybody's throat, and let's face it, that's exactly what they're doing. Oh, tomorrow, let me just interrupt to let you know, tomorrow, December 23rd at 4 p.m., because somebody's asking, I'm doing a reading of, not a psychic reading, I'm reading A Christmas Carol by Dickens. And I'll remind you all of that several times throughout this video. 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I got costumes, I have effects, it's my favorite Christmas story ever. I sent you a link of Christmas music? Jeez. I have to go back in my memory. Today? Terry, did you do that? Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I'm trying to avoid jumping all over the place, but let's go to Prager. So what happens is like Moms of Liberty, right? So we find out Moms of Liberty that are all about, oh, you're grooming our children, you're grooming our children. So Moms of Liberty, what ends up happening is we find out the president of Moms of Liberty, who are supposed to be all holier than thou, is involved in a threesome, and one of the two women and one man, I didn't write their names down, 2 women and 1 man, and they were involved in a threesome, these Moms of Liberty, you know, the president of the Moms of Liberty, and lo and behold, he wants to have sex with the woman, part of the threesome, and she doesn't feel like it, and so then he comes over and sexually assaults her. But they're Christians, and they want to tell you how Jesus wants you to live. And they want to shove it down your throat, how holier than thou that they are, and how they're pure as the driven snow. And all they think about is sex. And all they do is make up stories about what the libs, because they're so needing to own the libs, they make up stories, they make up problems where they don't exist. I literally heard somebody of the Prager Institute, I think that's what they call it, ilk that works for them, say, oh, they spend all this time, all this precious time teaching kids about pronouns. Teachers are doing the best that they can, scraping by, out of their love for children and their love for teaching to give these kids what they want. How often have we heard that teachers will bring extra food and snacks to school because there are kids in their classrooms that are hungry? How often have we heard that teachers don't have books and supplies for their children to teach the children, their students, because they're not funded? How often have we heard that they've had to take money out of their own pockets and they work after school hours grading papers, and they work way more hours than they're paid for, and they do it out of their love of teaching? If you're a teacher, if you're a born teacher, it's because you have a passion for teaching. I used to teach kids. I've taught hundreds of kids how to play the piano. If you love to teach, you love to teach. And these are the kinds of people that we need in these teacher positions. And these are teachers who want everybody, all their kids, all their students to be okay. But let's attack them. It's the Republican plan to destroy the education system, and it's the Republican plan to talk about grooming people. Thank you, Jasmine. Talk about grooming people. Whatever they're doing, they will project onto you. Your niece's 80th teacher's low pay. 80th? What do you mean 80th? Your niece's both. Sorry, I can't see that well. Both teachers low pay, and they have to set up their own classrooms. Yep. But let's pick on the teachers and let's screw up kids' heads. And then let's blame it on the libs, because we need to own the libs. I'm about done with people trying to own the libs. I mean, they just make up stuff that doesn't even make sense to anybody. So I'm pulling 3 cards on Dennis Prager, and here's why I'm pulling cards on Dennis Prager. Because there's a pattern here. And the pattern is, we need to tell you how to live your lives while we're over here having sexual trysts, right? Right? And I have a feeling that there's going to be something behind the scenes going on with this dude who started this ridiculousness. I have a feeling there's going to be something coming up about him. Don't you? As I like to say, it doesn't take a psychic. It's kind of like a probability thing. 3 cards on Mr. Let me tell you how to thank Prager. It's infuriating. If Jesus the Christ actually did come down to earth, he would be telling them what he really thought. 6 of Swords. Dennis Prager. Page of Pentacles. He's trying to hide who he really is behind this craziness. And the Hermit card. He's going to find himself out in the cold. There's something going on with that guy. There's something going on with that guy. These are my new cards. I haven't really held them up close enough so you can see them. Let's see. The Hermit. He's going to find himself left out in the cold. I really do think. Well, Darren, I'm going to say something about what you're saying there. You're saying most southern states hate teacher unions. Let's be more accurate. The southern states don't hate teachers unions. A certain minority segment of the population is trying to control what the state does. And let's be clear. Let me make a point. Based on some other story that's happening right now, which is the good news. that the Colorado Supreme Court is keeping Trump off the ballot thus far, until further notice. Over 50%, and I think it's higher than over 50%, of the American people, and you know how they skew the polls in the favor of the Republicans, over 50% of Americans think that Donald Trump shouldn't be on the ballot. So I want everyone to get clear in their minds, because it's really, really important that we don't be swayed. This is a minority of the population that are going for minority rule. They're going for minority rule. And minority rule means we're Christians and we think that how you are is wrong and we think you're of the devil. And so we need to take it upon ourselves to tell you how to live your lives, because we're so freaking nosy. Oh, thank you, Cheryl, as I rant. We're so freaking nosy and we have to poke into your business. We have to make sure that we get into your business. Literally. We need to get into your business and tell you that you need to think like this and you need to educate like this and you need to believe the way that we believe, and they are total hypocrites. Total hypocrites. As far as Dennis Prager goes, well, I wouldn't get the Six of Swords and the Hermit card if Mr. Prager was just, going swimmingly well. Gloria has a 4-letter word for them. So do I. And I have to not let it slip out of my mouth. The nerve of them. I don't see any of them. I don't see any of these right-wing Christian extremists saying anything about, can we help the poor? I mean, thank you for your support, because I'm really angry about this. Let's help the poor. We're Christians. Let's do what Christ said for us to do and help and take care of our brothers and sisters. Let's help those who are less fortunate. I was watching a video yesterday about, it's a couple years old, I believe, but it was a documentary about how many, especially elderly people, are lonely. Well, how about if these so-called Christians take notice of that? How about if they have groups in their community churches like normal people, and they go to the nursing homes and they go to the elderly housing facilities and they sit with an elder person and they keep them company, because many elders have nobody and go through entire days not speaking to anybody because nobody cares, and they're left out in the cold. They're left alone. How about these Christians see the problem, and then maybe they can address the problem. Maybe they can make a difference in somebody's lives. Maybe they can let them know that somebody actually does care about them and that they are loved. No. So let's be really clear. These people are freaking as evil as it gets. And as a spiritual person, and all you spiritual people out there, we cannot stand for this. We cannot stand for this BS. This is not Christian. This is fascist. This is evil. This is dark, and it needs to be stopped. Many Mennonites go to the local nursing homes. Yes, singing groups and visit with the elderly. If you are alone, a lonely person who through no fault of your own are in a situation where you're just alone, these people, nobody talks to them for days and days and days on end. Right, Barbara? No, but let's pick on the teachers. Let's pick on the teachers. Let's not teach history. The reason that we learn about slavery, the reason that we learn about the Holocaust, the reason that we learn about the most unpleasant things that humans have ever done in history, the reason that we learn is so that we don't repeat that. Joe Biden said he takes his grandchildren when they become 14 years old to the concentration camp. He takes them on a trip. There's a reason for that. To open their minds to the dark side so that they can fight against it. Warren's reminding me, I wasn't even looking, that we have 200 people in the chat and the room, so we need to, I don't see 200, I see 197. And we're not going to do a group hug till you all hit the thumbs up. Anyway, it looks like someone has dirt on Dennis Prager. Let's ask the pendulum if it's going to come out. I am convinced. Yeah, they were. They pop in and they pop back out. We want the people that will stay. And let me just say about my rants, I'm ranting for you. Donald Trump, Donald Trump is being indicted. If he can say that, then I can say I'm ranting for you. All right, is Dennis Prager going to, is he currently under investigation? Hang on, I was reading something. Mahatma Gandhi said, I like your Christ, I do not like your Christians. Your Christians are so unlike your Christ. Where's my bell? Pretty true words there. Pretty true words. Yeah, Trump says he's being indicted for the American people. Thank you, Judy. Is Dennis Prager slated to be investigated? He's slated to be investigated. Well, see, and that's why I opened with that topic, because I had just seen a spot on MSNBC where they were talking about it. We're not going to back down. We're not going to back down. We're here every week, all the time. I might take Christmas off, but let's see what's going to happen with his organization. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. All right, we're up to 202. I think this is good. I think it's gonna. We have staying power here. When we get to be 200 people here, you think I was channeling Gandhi? Well, you know, he's a hero. 1, 2, 3. Group hug, group holiday hug. And anyone who celebrates Christmas hug. And anyone who celebrates Hanukkah hug. And anyone who celebrates Kwanzaa and all the rest of it, hugs. It feels good. Feels good, you guys. And if you're watching this on replay, there's no time in the spirit world. There's no time in the etheric, so you can feel the hug too. We're going to pull 3 cards about that whole organization. They're infiltrating the American education system. And you know, in the back of my mind, every time I see this, 6,000 books have been banned. 6,000 books have been banned. Oh, Joe hugs back when she watches on replay. 6,000 books have been banned. So in the back of my mind, I know that they're trying to control people's minds, but in the back of my mind, when I think about all these books they're banning, I think kids aren't going to be able to figure out how else to get information, so there is that. Judy, you're welcome for that I can see you. You're appreciated. It's just hard to read the chat and talk at the same time. And do psychic readings. I'm picking 3 cards about that. Is it Prager University, maybe? I know I've seen mailings from them. Mennonites are in charge of Elkhart County and the hospitals, the schools, everything, and they're the devil, witches, and warlocks. What do you mean? I don't understand that, Diana. What's going to happen to this Prager in this Prager situation? Well, I have a sword card again. I have the 9 of Swords. That's some pretty. They're actually being found out. The guides are telling me that there's big money backing them. Big money backing them. That's for entertainment purposes only. Big money backing this Prager, Dennis Prager, and it feels like it's a fascist attempt to control the minds of children. They are a real university. They're not a really, yeah, but I think they call it Prager University. But as far as Dennis Prager, it doesn't look good for him. I feel like there's something illicit going on. I feel like the money's going to be found out. It is part of the fascist takeover attempt. The Seven of Cups, he's delusional. Dennis Prager is delusional. He believes his own lies. He does believe his own lies. Oh, thank you for the shout out to the YouTube members. There's an old Twilight Zone episode called the who? The Obsolete Man. I'll check it out. The Eight of Cups. I have to think about the card in the... Okay. Dennis Prager. The Seven of Cups is he is delusional. I kind of think that he does believe his own lies. He's going to be found out. And the Eight of Cups. Okay, yeah. I have to, when I use different cards, I have to go back in my files and go, okay, this is him walking away from all his misdeeds. It's a tax dodge. Okay, it's starting to come together now. He's using our tax dollars for this evil. Bingo. He's going to be investigated. Keep watching the news because he's going to be investigated. Terry, thank you for thanking the members. Just a quick shout out about becoming a member. You get an affirmation in your inbox every morning, and I've been doing this for a while now. When I get an affirmation in my inbox in the morning, it really helps my day, and I wrote them. So become a member, and you'll get an affirmation. Great way to start the new year off. It comes right to your email around 7 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. Okay. I told you guys the other night on Wednesday when we were reading about the Supreme Court weighing in on whether Donald Trump has immunity. And, wait. No. There's so much going on with Trump. He's such a criminal. No, it wasn't that. It was the Colorado thing, right? Let me get my crimes straight. So the Supreme Court are not fast tracking. Yeah, so there was the other, so they're not fast tracking the January 6th trial, right? We're going to read about that. But I'm just a little confused because I know that they were supposed to decide whether to take does Donald Trump have immunity decision. They're fast-tracking the presidential immunity, but they said that they wouldn't fast-track it. So many crimes to keep track of. Honestly, I thought I had it straight in my head, and then I'm like, oh, wait, Supreme Court's supposed to weigh in on two things. So let's read on the first thing, and that's whether Donald Trump is eligible to be on the ballot. And the other night, that's what we were asking. We were asking how the Supreme Court would decide. Would they decide to take that? What would they decide? And first, initially, I got it looked kind of murky, but then I got that they would stand by the Constitution. They want the appellate court to rule first. It's happened. For the first time, I have gotten on overload with figuring out, I mean, it was bound to happen eventually. It's become a scramble. This is what fascism wants. Fascism wants you to get so mind-boggled that you can't keep track. So this is how I'm going to put it. I'm just going to pull 3 cards about whether Donald Trump, what's going to happen with Donald Trump being ineligible to be on the ballot. And you guys are helping me out here, and I appreciate it. Okay. Susan Lynn got that same sense of murkiness at first too. Yeah, so then today I understood why I was getting that murkiness around the Supreme Court initially. But it was about Trump being ineligible to be on the ballot. So it was about the Supreme Court standing by the 14th Amendment, Section 3. So in that case, it means if they said that Donald Trump is eligible to be on the ballot, the reality of the situation is if the Supreme Court allowed Donald Trump to be on the ballot, I'm going to put it to you straight. I'm going to put it to you straight. This is why we have a lot of work to do. Hang on a second. Because Warren has a little insight. If the appellate court says that 45 does not have immunity, then SCOTUS does not need to risk their reputation by getting involved in that issue. They can avoid the issue altogether. Okay, so what I'm asking about right now... Sometimes I have to get it out. I always have to get it out. And I do get it out. What I'm asking right now is, will they deem him ineligible to be on the ballot? And what I want to tell you is if Donald Trump is on the ballot, he will start a serious coup. Okay? We have a lot of work to do. I don't think that the Supreme Court will be able to stay out of it because this is the Supreme Court's job. This is the reason for the Supreme Court. This is the job of the justices of the Supreme Court. This is their job, to abide by the United States Constitution. And if they say he can be on the ballot, our democracy is over. The reason the democracy would be over is because he would have free reign. What I mean is, if he were on the ballot, if Donald Trump and Joe Biden were on the ballot together in 2024, Trump would create an out-and-out coup. If he's on the ballot. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's going to happen. So the Supreme Court, will they uphold the Constitution? Yeah, they're going to finagle it so that they make it look like... And that's what I said the other night. There's a real similar energy to overturning Roe, where they just kind of like slough it off. And they don't really... It's murky. It's still murky. It's still murky. Yeah. They can't overturn the Constitution. I feel like that they're going to find a way to make themselves not look like the bad guys. Is that true? Is the Supreme Court going to find a way to make themselves not look like the bad guy? Are they going to find a way? No, they're not going to succeed in that. I actually feel like they're going to just be befuddled, which is probably why I'm feeling befuddled by all this. So let's ask this. Will the 14th Amendment, Section 3, will it stand? I get that it will stand. And I'll go back to months ago when I said I didn't see Trump on the ballot. I have never seen Trump on the ballot in 2024. And I said that it was due to the 14th Amendment, Section 3. You don't understand how one man can cause all this disruption? What do they call it? A two-tiered system of justice? Yeah, he's done. I mean, I'm sorry if I freaked anybody out. Trump is done. Trump is done. I'm going to pull 3 cards about Trump being done. I mean, let's look at the latest news. Christmas came early. Look at the latest news. They have his voice on a recording with, lo and behold, Ronna McDaniel. Is that her last name? It's supposed to be Romney. She's Mitt Romney's niece. Christmas came early. Ben said April will be the January 6th trial. Ben Meiselas is quite accurate. Ronna McDaniel. They have him on tape telling the people in Michigan not to certify the election. Oh, she's in a lot of trouble. Oh, I almost was calling up Kathy Beal today to pull out her chart. I didn't want to bother her, but if she's in the chat, maybe I can ask her if she can do a quick reading at some point. Ronna McDaniel, let's actually read on her first. Okay. That woman is so freaking arrogant. I mean, I can tolerate a lot, but I cannot tolerate that holier than thou arrogance, as you can tell by the huge rant that I started with. The head of the RNC, yeah, she's the head of the RNC, and then the other person that I have on my radar is Elise Stefanik. Love those Trump tapes. Love those Trump tapes. I hate to say it, but if we were further along into AI, they would start to say, well, no, that wasn't really Trump, that was AI, right? I'm reading on Ronna McDaniel. What a horrible person. So is Ronna McDaniel, I know you said Mormon, but I read moron. She's a moron. Ronna is Carl's soul sister. Oh boy, she's in a conundrum. Ronna McDaniel is in a conundrum. The Two of Swords says that she doesn't know what to do. Some of these cards are gruesome. This is my new deck. I told you that I would show you the box. That's not the box. I'll show it to you next time. Anyway, Ronna McDaniel is, this is I can't make up my mind. I don't know what to do. Nice card, right? And it's so funny that this card is a beheaded person, because when you're in that Two of Swords, here's the box. It's underneath my pizza box. I had pizza for supper. This is the card. The deck. Magicians, Martyrs, and Madmen. It's really good. The Two of Swords is when you can't figure things out. So it's kind of like you lost your head. Betty says her head is gone. You know the feeling. So Ronna McDaniel is really, she's losing her head. She's losing her head over this. There could be another reason I don't see Trump on the ballot in 2024. We'll look at that. No, he's not going to flee the country. We're on Ronna right now. I can imagine the evidence Jack Smith has on these people. It's piles and piles and piles. This is, everything's coming to light. This is the Sun card. I hope they don't ban my YouTube because of the naked lady. These cards are new to me, so I'm not really, sure what the pictures are going to be. And the Seven of Wands. Right now, she's scheming her lies. Rhonda McDaniel is screaming. It doesn't take a psychic to tell you that. She's scheming her lies. She's scheming her lies. Remember the other night, it really stuck with me, and I mentioned it on Wednesday, when I said I pulled the Ace of Wands about all these heinous, they have all this Trump's phones, all these heinous Republicans, and I just, all they have is lies. I'm just flabbergasted that all I see that they have is lies. It's 100% full on. All they have is lies. All they're banking on is fabricated stories. Which reminds me of Kellyanne Conway. And now that I'm thinking of Kellyanne Conway when I say fabricated stories, because she was the master of that. I heard Kellyanne Conway say something in response to the 14th Amendment, Section 3 in Trump. I saw a little clip that was Kellyanne Conway on Fox News, and they were talking about Trump being kicked off the ballot in Colorado. And Kellyanne Conway said this. I know, I hope her daughter divorces her. I hope her daughter's living with the father, George Conway. The alternative facts woman, talking about the 14th Amendment, Section 3 on Fox, said this. Oh, those liberals, they don't care. I don't know. She said something to the effect of, they'll just jump in their electric cars and go get an abortion. Unbelievable. She had major work done on her face. It didn't help her ugliness. She's a devil's handmaiden, that's true. Her daughter's very liberal. I would suspect her daughter, if she's not 18 yet, is living with her father. Oh, she's beyond an idiot, Gloria. It's not just, I know what you're saying, but she's beyond an idiot. And he did divorce her, and he looks better. She's getting worse. She actually said that. Oh, those liberals, they'll just jump in their electric cars and go get an abortion. What? Why are these people allowed on these shows? We need the FCC back. We definitely do. We need some kind of regulation. We definitely do. I'm going to read on her. She's willfully ignorant. You're too kind. Willfully ignorant? Hats off to you. You be kind, because I can't right now. You can help me. You can buffer my rant. She's evil. She's evil. And I wish that these evil people weren't around. I wish I didn't have to sit here and convey to you. Well, I don't have to sit here and convey to you anything. It's my choice. But I wish I could convey to you that everyone, or most people at least, are very nice. Most people are very nice. Trying to keep your vibration high. Our vibration's high. We're just talking about icky stuff. It doesn't mean that our vibration isn't high. Please hit the thumbs up and my vibration will get even higher. Yeah, you heard my rant about Ted Cruz, what he said? He said liberal women are so miserable and unhappy. I don't know who he's talking about. What Ted Cruz is really referring to there is that we are upset with them for being so hateful. So Ted Cruz, you were there. You were there. Said liberal women. Ted Cruz said liberal women are not happy because they have partners with little weenies. So I told you. So Ted Cruz let it out of the bag that he has a little weenie. Zircon is really happy. We're really happy. And I've been, Midas Touch put a little post up today that literally said, I don't know if you guys saw it. Midas Touch literally, they put up a post that said that people are reporting that Trump stinks. You know, auditory, like not olfactory, not auditory. Trump stinks. And that people that would work with him on The Apprentice, they would sit around him and they would just get so turned off because Trump stinks. And Ted Cruz the other night at that turning point, I don't know what that thing is. It's like the home for the most disgusting, hateful people. Ted Cruz is up there in the same little speech saying that Joe Biden needs 2 pairs of pants when he travels. And who's the one that's wearing diapers? And why is he even talking about that? Trump bathes with the sweat of Bannon. That is so gross. 45 was very upset with people saying he smells. If you have a diet that bad, my gosh. I'm reading on Kellyanne Conway. Ew, I know, I'm sorry. Thomas is trying to save us with a Christmas joke. Why did the Christmas tree go to the barber? It needed a trim. That is a total dad joke. Need the Santa bell on that one. Biden showers and cleans his teeth and he works out. And he's in great shape. I think that Joe Biden is a really good example for aging well. 81 years old. He's aging very well. He is. He's doing great. We love Joe Biden. Trump, Musk, you guys are funny. I want to read you something. I'm going to take a little bit of a break to read you something that I found, and I read it to somebody else, and I found it on Quora. Quora is kind of like Reddit where people write questions. Sometimes it's not that good, but I saw this in response to a question that somebody asked on Quora. So let's just take a break and listen to that. Oh yeah. Texas is Texas will come out of this mess. So this person said this. He said, I'm 82 in a couple of weeks. If I make it that far, that is. I'm fascinated by being alive. There's nothing I can say that will cheer anyone up because it's all in the way you look at it, just as it has been all your life. You can make a distinction between your life situation, financial setup, age, gender, race, body type, nationality, religious, sporting and political beliefs, health, relationships, work history, medical history, achievements, reputation, private affairs. The list goes on and on. You can make a decision between your life situation, which is all that, and your life. Your life is a totally mysterious fact of existence, manifest as breathing, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, smelling, body sensations, thoughts, feelings, the senses, and the interior world as it happens. You are aware now reading this and now listening to this. Stay with it for a moment. While aware of just being, simply existing, and aware of your senses, was there any age? Age is a thought. Let it be a thought and don't follow it. The content of any thought may be disregarded in favor of this experience of life as it happens. Always already here, never in the future or the past, just this. Start dwelling here. The rewards are great and unexpected. That was off of Quora. The guy was 82. Our life is not our situations. Our life is our existence here and being. And Thomas probably told another joke while I was reading that profound thing. You can watch it. You can listen on replay. Just be here. Be in our bodies. Be, if you want me to send that to you, I can copy and paste it and send it to you. AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. You can send me an email and I'll send it to you if you want a copy of that. I think about these Republicans and how awful and how miserable they are, and these right-wing extremists, and how awful and miserable of a life that must be. Let's read on Trump. 3 cards on Trump. How he's faring right now. I really feel bad health around him. And if you smell that bad, as reportedly Trump does smell bad, you can't be very healthy. The power of now, Eckhart Tolle. Yeah. I learned from Sadhguru. That's the greatest blessing of my life. Greatest blessing of my life. Greatest. Most awesome. Most blessed because of that. Well, he's facing justice. This is about Trump. He's facing justice. And he's all alone. There's that Hermit card again. I got the Hermit card on Dennis Prager. Vlad Dracula, the King of Wands. This is Jack Smith and all the information that he has. Dun, dun, dun. Let's put them together. I'm sorry. Jack Smith is just doing his job. So for Trump, I have the Justice card. I have the Hermit card. Tom, if somebody is telling you to put the joke back up there, you don't have to. But you can if you want. The Hermit, Donald Trump doesn't really have any defenses left. He's lost all his defenses. He's lost his you-know-what. The Hermit, the Justice card, and this is Jack Smith. The King of Wands has all the info. He's got all the stuff. He's got all the communications. The Wands are communications. Oh my goodness. You learned from me. My Church of Spirituality. Yes, speaking of that, if you guys aren't watching Church of Spirituality, you are seriously missing out on some good stuff. What do you call fake spaghetti? An imposter. You win. All right. You won. You're winning me over here. We come together to be happy together and in the midst of this darkness. And I'll tell you about a really funny post. Denise at Spiritual Growth Tarot. And if she's watching, shout out. She might. She does say she watches me. She had. I don't know where she gets these things. It was a picture of a couch in a living room, and there was a big Ouija board on the floor in this picture, and it said something about beware of Roombas conjuring up the devil. You know, Roomba is an automatic little, disc-like vacuum cleaner. I have one. They're wonderful, because I hate to vacuum. So funny. How to conjure up evil from your Roomba on your Ouija board. I'll repost it. Did you see it? It was really funny. It was funny. So yesterday I saw Stephen Miller, a clip of Stephen Miller. You may have seen this. Midas Touch had it on. I'm going to ask the pendulum, because I meant to ask the pendulum and I hadn't asked yet. So let's do this together. Yeah, Denise at Spiritual Growth Tarot. She really is. I don't know where she gets. She has the same sense of humor as me. Absolutely. It's. I'm like rolling on the floor sometimes. That one was a good one. I think that Stephen Miller might have been Hitler. Stephen Miller is a sadistic sociopath. He's a very sick man. So he was on Jesse Waters' show. That's his name, right? Jesse Waters? The Tucker Carlson wannabe. And you may have seen this. The Grinch is such a good gardener because he has a green thumb. You're really helping me get through this news. So Stephen Miller was bragging to Jesse Waters on Fox that he's getting his pilot's license, and his dream that he just can't wait till he gets his pilot's license, because his dream is to fly over the migrants and to corral them somehow. But I think he means more than that, and I won't go into it. But he's talking about this like sadistic streak. He's talking with this sadistic streak, and he's like smiling like an evil villain. And I'm thinking, who in history has gotten that much pleasure about thinking about inflicting pain on others? Goebbels? You thought Goebbels? I'm actually going to... Oh, Jesse Waters is the worst. All he wants to do is like be as popular as Tucker Carlson. Is Stephen Miller the incarnation of Adolf Hitler? Not quite, but I feel like he was there at that time. So sick. And let's just acknowledge right now, this is really hard for normal people to see this level. And he's Jewish, yes. To see this level of evil. He has that evil laugh. He was a troll under a bridge in his last life. It was Stephen Miller's soul was it in Nazi Germany in the 30s? Yes, I get a yes on that. I know you can't stand to look at these people when they're exuding that amount of evil. I definitely get that he's incarnated from Nazi Germany. Does he practice his faith? What do you think? Was Stephen Miller Goebbels? Was he? Now, the pendulum's just giving me, well, not quite. We're not getting the name. Okay, was Stephen Miller a Nazi? Was he, yes, he was in Nazi Germany. So was he a Nazi? He was a Nazi. He definitely was a Nazi. No, I didn't get a yes on Goebbels. Goring? Was he Goring? No. Okay, well, let's ask this. Was he a famous Nazi? He was a famous Nazi. I don't know. I'm not up on my Nazis. You think his family are disgusted with him? Well, I would hope so. I hope they're not like him. Anne, you're being so polite. Stephen Miller is empty. I need to take polite lessons from y'all. I'm going to pull 3 cards on his fate. I'm going to pull 3 cards on Stephen Miller's fate. I don't usually read on him because it's too difficult. I don't feel like someone's paying him to say those things. I'm not going through the entire, famous, most horrific Nazis that ever lived. I'm not going, it's bad enough. Yes, there'll be tea leaves later. How on God's earth is almost an hour gone by? I don't know. Thank you, Tweet Scotchy. Stephen Miller. Man, I'm going to need some eggnog after this. Virgin eggnog. Still good, though. Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller wants to be famous. He wants to be known for being that horrible. But he does have a lot of burdens. He does have a lot of burdens. I'll ask, this is a 10 of Wands. He does have a lot of burdens. I feel like Stephen Miller is in trouble for a lot of things. And what pops into my mind is international crimes. Because it was his idea to rip babies out of the arms of their mothers. And a lot of those kids didn't get reunited with their parents. No, Stephen Miller isn't human. Let's ask this. Is Stephen Miller possessed? Warren, I'm not going through the whole entire cast of characters of Nazi generals. I go really enough into the evil dark muck as it is. I can't do that. I don't get paid enough. I love you. Don't worry about the Scottish ruling on Jack Smith. You knew he was going to do that. That's not the end of the story. I'm sorry, we switched topics. Your pendulum says he was Himmler. See, and I don't even want to look up what Himmler did. I don't think we're getting it. Will Stephen Miller be held accountable for his crimes against humanity? Yeah, I'm getting the word Amnesty International. I'm getting that organization. He will be. And he knows it. That's what the Ten of Wands is. He has a big burden on him. And I feel like he knows that the law is after him, but he totally ignores it. Totally ignores it. Stephen Miller is not the reincarnation of Adolf Hitler. No, I didn't get that. Yeah, I didn't get that. The Two of Swords. So he is in big trouble. It's a very clear, there's a very clear crime. It's not like there's no fuzzy areas. Stephen Miller created very heinous crimes against humanity. Definitely. Definitely. Hello! I'm glad you're here. It's okay if you're late. You can always watch it on replay. But what he does about the trouble that he's in is he just does his best to. He just doesn't think about it. It's irrelevant to him, to Stephen Miller. But the Ace of Pentacles is like there's a very clear crime investigation on him going on right now. Let's ask if it's on Jack Smith's plate. Is Stephen Miller on Jack Smith's radar? Yes. Yes. Hi, Colorful Foresight. You also catch it on replay a lot? You do the group hug on replay? I heard it works just as well. There's no time, space, disruption there. All right, Warren, I'm with you on that. Warren says that we need to do another group hug after delving into all that Nazi energy. And Trump is Nazi energy too. 1, 2, 3, hug, healing hug. Yeah. And it is traumatizing too, to be living on the planet at a time, this has been the case throughout history, but to actually be just aware of what horrible things are going on, in Ukraine and the Middle East, and with Donald Trump calling people, the next thing Donald Trump is going to call people is cockroaches. Get ready for that. Fair warning. Fair warning. Oh yeah, we chose to be here at this time. I tell you that all the time. And we're here. Thomas, people are requesting more dad jokes. Go ahead. We incarnated here for a reason. Those of us that are paying attention to the news, those of us that know what's going on, and those of us especially that were born with a caring and compassionate and kind heart, and that includes all of you, came here to be that and to shine our light and to work with that. We chose to come here to help. If you were born a kind and compassionate and caring person, even if it got covered up by not nice people, if you were born a kind and compassionate person and loving person, then you're here for a reason. For the reason. What I mean is everyone's here for a reason, but for the reason to use that, to be that, to shine that light, And if you were born an activist like I was born an activist, then you'll feel really compelled to get involved too. And you all fall into that category. So anyway, let me ask this. Yeah, celebrate the beautiful, loving, kind people. Can you see that all right? That's true. That's what we're doing here. We're celebrating all of us being here on the planet together. What do you call a snowman with a six-pack and a... You caught me on that one. And an abdominal snowman. It's too funny. It's too funny. And now a word from our Democracy Elf. Democracy Elf, remember Democracy Elf? I had to tape him here because he kept falling. Democracy Elf, remember Judy and Elliot? Well, what happened was they kind of got a crush on each other. So now they're together. And that's the story of what happened to Elliot and the Democracy Elf and Judy the Elf. They fell in love. So they're right here. They have a date for Christmas. They have a date for Christmas Day because Christmas Eve they'll be busy. Why did the moron take a ladder to school? Because he wanted to go to high school? You're right. Guilty as charged. I've created... Warren saying, see what you created? Group hugs and dad jokes. Oh my gosh. The abdominal... I can't even say it. Abdominal snowman. I love you guys. You make me happy. You make me happier. Don't forget, tomorrow, I can't believe it's already going to be tomorrow, A Christmas Carol. I'm reading the entire story. I will show it to you. This isn't the entire story. There's a bunch of stories in here, but the entire story of A Christmas Carol is about 70 odd pages, I think. I'll tell you. And if you're busy tomorrow, you can just watch afterwards. It's like 69, 70 pages. I'm reading the entire thing with effects. It's a fundraiser for my channel. I'm doing a fundraiser for my YouTube channel. So show up. You just have to show up. Thank you, Sharon. Oh, I missed you. I haven't seen you in a while. Sharon's put my information up. Let's see. I have these cards too. This is the Forest Fae. We're going to pull one of these. Yeah, in honor of the solstice. We're going to pull that too. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. We usually have our Grassroots of Democracy meetings on Saturday at 4:30, but we're going to not do that. So 4 o'clock. Let's read on Joe Biden. Yeah, Trump, man. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll post it on my community page too. Why does Scrooge love Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer? Because every buck is dear to him. Eliza, you apologize for that. That's funny. Joe Biden. Joe Biden. How's Joe Biden doing? We have historic economic growth. We have historic economic growth. And I promise I'm going to start doing videos just like announcing what the Biden administration is doing. I mean, we have... The difference couldn't be more stark. They're polar opposites. I pray for Joe Biden. I pray for our country every single day fervently. How Joe Biden is doing. He does need to rest. let's send vibes to Joe Biden that he gets some rest over the holiday. Because I have the sense about him that he feels like he can't take a moment's rest. I think that Jill Biden, this is the Four of Swords, I think that Jill Biden sees to it that he takes some downtime. The Nine of Pentacles, let me think. Yeah, so Joe Biden is, he's, I understand that everything that's happening that's very dark, there are threads connecting, you know, it's like the evil empires working together right now. So that's what Joe Biden is most concerned about at the moment, is like how it's affecting the United States and how it's affecting other people in the world. So he does need to take a little rest. And I get that Jill Biden is going to make sure of it. And you know, speaking of Jill Biden, and I know I'm reading about Joe Biden right now. Hang on while I get my bearings about... Okay. He will replenish himself over the Christmas holiday. Did you all see Fox making fun of the Nutcracker show that they had at the White House? Oh, what if Joe did fireside chats? That's a great idea. That's an awesome idea. Let's send them that idea. Hi, Sharon. When we do that group hug, you think about President Joe Biden and Hunter. Do you guys pray for him every day? I do. Did I see that UFO over President Biden's plane? Are you sure that was real? Jenny says, I have to say that I love you, but your rants raise my blood pressure. If you watch your numbers and see that people drop off when you rant, perhaps you can do what you do without yelling. Not happening. If I was a guy, people wouldn't complain. You haven't prayed since 1994? Well, intend. Well, intend. I'm not picking up that was real. The UFO. That's just my psychic impression. Do you guys agree with me that if I was a man that it would be fine for me to rant? Just saying. I'm not picking up psychically that was real. That's what I'm saying. I hope that you all join me tomorrow. You know, my energy just turns right off when people insult me. It does. It just does. Thank you. You know, I mean, it's like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. Thank you. It's a trigger. It's a trigger. Thank you, Betty. Thank you. I mean, okay, let me just address this really quickly, and I promise I won't dwell on it. You know, when people like poke you where it hurts, not nice. Not nice. Not nice. Not nice. They call Kamala Harris a bitch. Why? Because she's in a powerful position. I'm not saying that I'm of that caliber. Why do they say, oh, Kamala, nobody likes Kamala? Why do they say they don't like, what's wrong with Kamala Harris? Thank you, Barbara. I'm ranting for you. Debbie's making chocolate chip cookies. How nice. I'm gonna read on the hateful people. And I'm going to read on the hateful people, the MAGA people that are so hateful, and I'm going to take a look on whether that's going to... Yeah, I am a soft soul. I'm both. I'm going to read on whether people in the United States, whether the MAGA people in general are going to be less hateful. When I think about people that are really hell-bent on supporting a murderous, fascist, vitriolic, wannabe dictator, and I think about the MAGA people that want him, those are very damaged individuals. They're very damaged individuals, and there's not one of them that hasn't been deeply wounded from childhood. Thank you for your beautiful comments. I appreciate it. What happens, I'm going to just bear with me. What happens with people that are wounded in childhood is, not all of them, but sometimes it manifests later in life as they'll just bite off their noses to spite their faces because they have so much anger going on that never was processed, that was never dealt with. And it comes out like they don't even care if Donald Trump would ruin their lives completely, which he would. Yeah. They don't even care. So, and I don't mean all of them. I mean the really far gone ones. The ones that are really far gone, and they don't care if they if they just perish under the reign of an evil dictator, because they have no value for their own lives. And I just want to see if we're going to have a shift in the amount of people that have this dire self-destructive need to be hateful. Oh no, we lost Elliot. Elliot and Judy, apparently they wanted a little privacy. So we'll just let them have a little privacy. Yeah, so just understand that the ones that are really, really, really damaged from their childhood, the MAGA people that don't care if everything self-destructs. Thank you, Lois. They don't care if they self-destruct. There's a level of, and you do see it in Donald Trump, there's a level of hatred that's so intensely deep that they don't even care that they're self-destructing. Oh, Gloria had loving parents. They're in heaven now. Nice. I'm pulling 3 cards to see if that's going to shift. I may get a few little elves if I leave Elliot alone for too long with Judy. You guys are killing me tonight. They wanted to be alone, apparently. Should I go get him? The 3 of Cups. It does actually look like, yeah. Okay, I know it might be hard to believe, but I'm asking if there'll be a shift in the MAGA people. And I get that there will be. The 7 of Wands indicates when the messaging gets better. I'm not saying they'll all heal emotionally. We all have our darkness. I'm not saying I don't have my darkness. I think you guys have seen that. I wear everything right on my sleeve. So what you see, like, it doesn't get worse than how I get on my channel. So, and sometimes I get really angry on my channel. So, sometimes. Seldom, but sometimes. But I have the 3 of Cups here, and I really do feel like there'll be enough the guides are showing me that there'll be enough of the really, really, really hateful ones that kind of quiet down. We all have the yin and the yang, right? We all have both. We're all light and dark. It's whatever we want to feed more. It's not easy to be, all light all the time, but you can have a foundation of being usually, in a good place. So I do think, I do see the light winning. Who is Elliot and E.T.? Elliot's the elf, the democracy elf. I'll go get him. He made friends with Judy the elf, and now they jumped off the back of the chair and they're making out behind me. This is it does feel like we're gonna, this is a justice again, and it does feel like it's gonna come to a place where they're not so predominant anymore. They're wrapping presents. I am gonna go get Elliot before we're done. What I want to ask is Donald Trump going to actually get to the point? Oh, you thought I had an alien friend? No, it's an elf. Maybe he's an alien. Warren's predicting octuplet elves. Is Donald Trump going to get to the point where he calls human beings cockroaches? It doesn't look like he's going to get to that point. Okay, wait, well, that's good. Is Donald Trump going to get to the point where he uses other bad words to describe immigrants? Other bad words to describe immigrants. Yes, he's going through his... He's going through his ideas of what else to call immigrants as we speak. Evelyn says she has no more patience with MAGAs. Well, I was going on that little explanation to maybe give you an explanation that you might understand. That there are people with so much rage within them that they kind of take it out on themselves in a certain way. Warren lost it at Vermin. Yeah, Trump has names to call everybody. Oh my goodness, look at the time. If there's anything else that you really, really, really need for me to answer, I'll answer it. I do want to pull cards about the weekend. Oh, and the tea leaves are looking extremely interesting. So wait for the tea leaves. Zircon is saying immigration is the only thing they have to complain about. Immigration, and there's something else. I was trying to think of it. What the Republicans have, the fascists have to complain about on Fox are immigration. And what's the other thing? The other thing is the voter, fraud. Do the Republicans have anything else to use for their platform? No. So I don't know. We read about Hunter Biden. I don't really see anything. And the impeachment inquiry, I don't see anything beyond February. You could use some tea, please? Oh, fix yourself up some tea. Hang on a second. I need to go get Elliot and Judy. And I'm going to entice them like this. Come on, you guys. They're okay. I just showed them that I'm one of them too, so there we go. We're all in this together. Oh my goodness. Am I nuts? Am I just crazy? Time for a cup of coffee. That sounds good. Elf bait. Yeah. I put on my elf bait and they They jumped right into my hands. I didn't plan to go so long tonight. I guess there's just a lot of craziness in the air. I do believe I see a reindeer in the tea leaves. I want to mention to you that I got Heather Cox Richardson's newsletter, Letters from an American, today, and I just want you all to know that, well, first of all, read Democracy Awakening. It's excellent. And I want you to know that Heather Cox Richardson in her newsletter, Letters from an American, which you also should subscribe to if you don't already, mentioned that Viktor Orban is now going full-on fascist. And Matt will try to steal Elliot. Hang on. Viktor Orban, that Trump gets up there at his rallies and he praises Viktor Orban. Praises Viktor Orban. We want to be like Hungary. What made me think of it is that Judy the elf was made in Hungary. See, Judy? She was made by a nice lady in Hungary. I found them on Etsy, okay? This guy is just from the Vermont Country Store. But it made me think of the people in Hungary. So Viktor Orban is making new laws that say if they get to go through, I don't know if it's in effect yet, but they can go through people's personal records and documents and everything to see if they might have said negative things about the government in Hungary. And if they have, then Viktor Orban can prosecute them. Yep. And that's what Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they invited Viktor Orban to their extremist turning point meetings and all those other ridiculous things that they do. Anyway, so isn't that little elf the cutest? I couldn't resist. I have 3 of them now. That's what Viktor Orban is doing. So Trump is going full-on fascist, and the MAGA Republicans have gone full-on fascist. And now we're seeing that this Orban they've been praising, we're finding out what Orban is doing. He's really buckling down on the fascism. Evelyn says it sounds like an assassin's coming for Orban. We'll see. Oh, thank you for posting my P.O. box. Pay attention. Everyone pay attention to what's going on. I wonder how that's going to go. Actually, I know we've been here a long time, but we're going to keep going. Because I just want to I want to pull 3 cards about Orban's, that news getting out about what Viktor Orban is doing. This hat is so silly. He had a closed-door meeting with the Republicans on December 10th. Yeah, so they're looking for his playbook. Thank you, Wildflower Wind. Yeah, the project is terrifying. We need to pay attention, people. I'm your Christmas present. Oh, and then tomorrow's, kind of a Christmas present too, reading A Christmas Carol. Thank you. You're so sweet. So this, I have the Joan of Arc card. I really do I think the messaging is going to get out for the people of America to wake the hell up. Project 2025 is terrifying. Project 2025 is a fascist takeover. Let's just be clear and talk about what it is. It does look like the message is going to get out to the American people. They want Orban. They want Orban. They want fascism, and we don't. We don't. The 8 of Pentacles. Okay. I really do think that all this news is going to be out in the public in America. Yeah, this is just this. I agree with you. Betty, I agree with you. This is just the start of what we'll be finding out. We need the Chipmunk song? I don't remember the Chipmunk song. It does look like the American people are going to start talking about, whoa, wait, what they want? What? They want what? We had the podcast about the full moon on Tuesday. We did it a week in advance, but check that one out. That's a really good one. They're all good. And check out the Spirit Talk podcast I did with Catherine Glass. It's time for us to read the cards. I mean, the tea leaves. We already read the cards. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. Even if you're having like a holiday party, tune in to A Christmas Carol. Let's take a look at the tea leaves, and then I will let you go. No, Trump isn't going to win, but it will be because we all wake up. And we wake everybody else up. It's a little more late on the subject. Well, we have a lucky horseshoe. Does that look like Santa Claus to anybody? Oh, I can't even imagine after all the Trump court cases how much information we're going to have. You're absolutely right. Jupiter goes direct next week. I think that things are going to take a turn for the better then. I see... This looks like a vulture almost. This looks like a vulture, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of... Let me tell you something about these extremists. There's a lot of people that want you to not enjoy your life. Looks like a pirate. Yeah, well, that would be like somebody who's going to steal, right? So, but the cat is gentle. It's a gentleness and the kindness that is highlighted that's going to start turning things around. And this is an interesting... That looks like somebody on a swing. We kind of have to learn how to be resilient and just kind of swing with things, you know, to just like... We're going to feel like we're being, you know, to and fro, tossed to and fro, and kind of just swinging. But that's a good thing right now. Look, it looks like a monkey hanging from a branch. Doesn't it? And then this looks like a guitar. I wonder if we're going to lose somebody in the music industry. Oh, man, last time I did that, I saw that. We lost Gordon Lightfoot. Hang on a second. The reason that I don't have everything in front of me is because I don't know what I'll need. I see a guitar, and it's in where Saturn is, and so I need to look because I'm wondering if we're gonna lose somebody. Oh, thank you. Thank you for telling me to preach it. I feel better now about, you know, being I don't know, passionate. It's like, we're good, right, you guys? You're passionate. They really fell for each other. The guitar. I just want to see if this is in here. Okay. I feel like we're going to get news about a famous guitarist. That's going to be... I think we're going to lose a musician that's, you know, going to a better place. But I think it's going to be hard for us. And this looks like a fish. And fish are symbols of prosperity. And this looks like Santa. So the tea leaves are saying, have yourself a Merry, Merry Christmas. And right here, there's a luck. This is a horseshoe. There's a luck sign, and it's like, you know, things are wide open here for doing. It looks like an open mouth there, and a heart. Things are wide open in this country. If we want to enter into the doorway of love and light, and kindness, you see a bull. That would be Jupiter's in Taurus. That we will see the fruits of our labor when we're really putting out the effort to just spread love and kindness. So spread love and kindness, no matter what. Just, you know, when you smile when you're in a bad mood, your brain gets tricked into thinking you're in a good mood. I also see, that looks like a reindeer. That also looks like a reindeer. It looks like a magical Christmas time to me. That guitar has me kind of intrigued. And also, I keep saying other things. That's There's somebody playing an instrument with a bow there. So there's and that looks like an angel too. There's a lot of different shapes in these tea leaves. See the bow and the musician. Listen to more music. Carlos Santana's still alive. Yes, he's still alive. A reindeer and a sleigh. Yeah, so yeah, but empty. But what I see is like, you know, it will be where you create it. You have to make the holidays happen. And if you celebrate Christmas, you have to make Christmas happen. It just doesn't happen on its own, right? You don't just like sit there and wait for it to knock on your door. You have to make it happen. No, it's not Bruce Springsteen. No, it's not any of those. No, it's not Paul McCartney. My first thought was Keith Richards, but I don't predict death. And I only thought of Keith because he's getting up there. Keith Richards just turned 80, so we'll see. I love you all so much. I forgot to tell you that you can book a reading, psychic.AnnetteDion.com, and I forgot to tell you that you can join Grassroots of Democracy by going to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. And the schedule for Christmas. Don't leave yet. Hang on a sec. Because I need to give you the schedule. On Sunday, as usual, we have Church of Spirituality at 1 p.m. I come back at 10 p.m. This is all Eastern time. I'm on the East Coast. At 1 is our usual service. And then Christmas Eve is Sunday also. 10 p.m. I'm doing a vigil service. And on Christmas Day, I'm doing a noontime service, Church of Spirituality. Please tune into that. And tomorrow, I'm reading Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol and all the characters as a fundraiser for my channel. So please tune in. Tonight felt really wacky. Last dad joke, why don't monks use email? They prefer to use pray per mail. It's been quite a show. Before I go, I want to tell you where the moon is because it really is nuts. The moon's in Taurus. My moon is in Taurus. I love you guys. Sorry for the outburst, but it's all good. Love you. Happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is. See you soon. Bye. Thanks for your support.